Hello everyone, this is Blender Guppy. Welcome to another panel cutter video. So someone has inquired about the reactive redo panel that I'm using for the add-on, and that is whenever I choose to modify one of the properties here, you can see the live changes in the viewport. Now sometimes, depending on your settings, the redo panel can have an OK button here at the bottom, and if you touch any of the properties you won't see live changes. So the only way to change that to the kind that I'm using is go to press Alt F4 in the 3D viewport, or not Alt F4, press F4, sorry about that. Alt F4 is native Windows hotkey for shutting down the application. So F4, press F4 in the 3D viewport, go to Preferences, go to System, and check Global Undo. Okay, so if I have this checked off, you can see that when I use the add-on, it has an OK button. Now, you can choose to use it like this, and it will only be reactive after I use the OK button. So, OK. So the properties now on the script now executes now without doing any action at all. So except for navigating, obviously, you can bring back the redo panel by pressing F9. And now the OK button is gone because we have used it. And now the redo panel is reactive and responds to live changes. You can also open the redo panel right here at the bottom left corner of the viewport, and it stays on. The F9 hotkey for bringing it up anywhere in the 3D viewport, as long as the mouse is hovering inside the window, the redo panel stays on. If it goes out, then the redo panel disappears. You can bring it back using F9. Now, can I change that? No, because that behavior is entirely Blender internal. That means I can change it using Python. It's using backend code. Okay. And however, if you're using this right here, you can't move the window like that. It stays on in this place, but you can modify the properties, and the effects are live and reactive. And if you go out of the redo panel window, it won't disappear. It's static in its place right here. So if you want that. However, if you want my default window, you have to toggle this on, Global Undo. And then if you use the operator, now the OK button is gone, and um, modifying the properties will be, and the changes will be live. The changes will be live when you modify the one of the properties. So another trick for this is because the OK button is gone. The only way to execute the script is to change any of these properties here. But what happens if I don't want to change any of the numerical values or any of the toggles? Then just click on none. Okay, so you won't have to change any of the other property values here. Okay, so that's how you can um, set it. So F4, Preferences, go to System, and toggle on Global Undo right here. And the only caveat is that the only difference is that when I use Panel Cut, the menu right here doesn't appear. Okay, you are restricted or limited to this window right here. If the mouse cursor hovers out of the window, it disappears, but you can bring it back using F9. You can change the F9 hotkey, however, to whatever you like. If that is too far, you can change it. F4 preferences, key map, and go to key binding, F9, and redo last. You can change it right here. So make sure that the keys that you want to change it to doesn't conflict with other hotkeys. So make sure that. So the trick is, if you want to change it to anything else, make sure that it's closer to your to the main hand that you're using for the keyboard. Okay. So for example, I'm left-handed. I'm using my left hand for the keyboard. I might change these to something like Control Shift W or something, or the Control tilde. But I'm pretty used. But I'm pretty used with F9, so I just use the default hotkey. Okay, so that is how you can set it like that. And another thing, the same person pointed out that he's using Final Cut button, not the Final Cutter add-on, like in the demo. So in the demo, I was using the old version, which has the Final Cutter name for the button. I changed this to Final Cut. The add-on is Final Cutter. Now the button is Final Cut. It makes no difference because, by the way, Final Cutter is like a noun and Final Cut is a verb. So I choose Final Cut for the button. So the add-on name is Final Cutter. The button name is Final Cut. W in object mode, W in edit mode. Okay. And also, the same person pointed out that marking the edges doesn't bring out the result like in the demo video. In the demo video, I've explained that you have to mark the edges. Okay. Mark sharp. And then select the faces that encompass or encapsulates those marked sharp edges. Okay. So essentially, in your mind, you have selected the area that you want the panel details to be on, but you're not selecting it first. You have to mark the edges in those faces that you have in your mind, like this. Mark sharp, then I select the faces that I intend to select, and I mark sharp the edges first, then selecting the faces with those mark sharp edges included, use the panel cut button. Okay. Encapsulate, and the entire object. Okay. So that is it for this video. I hope you learned something about the redo panel and how to set it. And set it like mine, which is the reactive one. And if you have any more questions, be sure to use the comment section and the description in the links in the description of the video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.